Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
One man is in jail after a report of shots fired in South Fargo. Late this afternoon, Fargo police were called to a report of shots fired in the 1600 block of East Gateway Drive. Deputy Chief Joe Anderson tells Valley News Live that one man was reportedly chasing another man. Police eventually stopped a car with two suspects inside.
30-year-old Stephen Geely admitted to discharging a handgun. However, police could not find any spent cartridges and did not know which direction the bullets may have been fired. No one was hurt in the incident. Police continue to investigate. Geely is in the Cass County Jail tonight and is expected to face a charge of reckless endangerment. Stick with Valley News Live for updates on this developing story.
And we have an update for you on a story that we've been following for you. A missing 31-year-old man has been found alive. Derek Harper Jr. of Brook Lake Township was found by officials this evening. This morning, the Beltrami County Sheriff's Office received a report of a missing person, identified as Derek Harper. Harper had been reported missing by relatives who had not seen him since the overnight hours of September 11th, near his home. Around 2:30 this afternoon, a large search was conducted in a wooded area close to Harper's home, and at 4:30, searchers found a piece of his clothing, helping them better focus their search. Shortly after, family and searchers found Harper injured and extremely dehydrated. He was taken to the hospital. His condition is not known.
Parents in West Fargo are telling us that the West Fargo High School girls swimming coach has been fired from coaching and teaching within the district. And Inform is reporting that Ronald Henn was relieved from his duties for what the school called inappropriate coaching practices. Henn was in his first season as the varsity coach. Barb Fisher has been named interim coach of the girls program. Fisher also coaches the Packers boys team. A West Fargo City spokesperson says the district is heading up the investigation and that police are not involved.
Local police stations are understaffed and looking for help. But Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall found out there is a new push from an unlikely source to get more recruits.
We're limited with our resources. Right now we are short-staffed in the city of Moorhead.
Understaffed and overworked.
The good news is there's overtime available. The bad news is there's overtime available, and I know it wears on some of the officers.
It's not just Moorhead. Fargo police say they haven't been fully staffed in quite a while. West Fargo police are currently accepting applications. Even Minnesota Highway Patrol says they're always hiring. Local educators say law enforcement careers are dealing with a perception problem.
I think they've watched too much TV growing up, and they have an idea of what law enforcement is based on Hawaii Five-0 and Blue Bloods and whatever else they've watched. And then they get into the classroom and find out there's a lot more to it, and probably the massive amount of paperwork that comes with law enforcement. That will scare a few students away.
The popularity of law enforcement is also at a low.
After 9/11 happened, law enforcement was sought after and popular, and in our current climate right now, it's not as much.
But educators say new recruits are hoping to be the change that encourages others to sign up.
I've had a lot of students tell me they want to change that. They want to help be the change of how people look at law enforcement.
But until then,
We're trying to do the best that we can with what we've got.
In Moorhead, Veronica Valley News Live.
Experts say with so many law enforcement positions available, it's a friendly job market for graduating students with salaries starting around $50,000 a year.
We're keeping an eye on severe weather that's been moving through our region tonight. It's been a little dicey out there this evening for some folks. Hutch, what's the latest?
Well, we have thunderstorms that are extending from east central parts of North Dakota into Lakes Country and now moving in on the Bemidji area. A little bit of lightning in northern Stutsman County that's moving to the north and east. That's not severe. The good news is the storm in central Cass County was warned earlier. That warning has been allowed to expire as it's moving off to the north and east at a clip of about 30 miles per hour. We'll put it very close to the Harwood area by 10:25 and Averill by 10:54. There is still some hail potential from that cell, but it's on the order of 3/4 of an inch to maybe 1 inch in diameter in isolated locations. The warning for Norman and Monoman counties canceled, but near Nadawash we have some hail production possible there, maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch diameter hail, and a little bit of hail as well in northern reaches of Hubbard County, where a warning does continue for your area as well. These storms are going to continue to drift to the north and the east as we go through the overnight hours. Things should quiet down in the deep overnight as we approach daybreak, but any thunderstorms that do form between now and say around 1 a.m. could indeed become severe hail, that primary threat. I'll have the rest of your outlook for the weekend ahead and beyond here in a minute.
Quiet will be good.
It will be.
Thanks.
A man from McIntosh, Minnesota is facing 13 charges after authorities found that he had images and video of child porn. 24-year-old Lucas James Coyle was charged in Polk County District Court Wednesday. Each count is a felony offense. A judge set bail at $10,000. Coyle was released on personal recognizance. His next court appearance is scheduled for October 23rd.
The last defendant of the Jamaican lottery scam that swindled at least $5.7 million from 90 elderly Americans was convicted today by a federal jury in North Dakota. Jurors found 28-year-old Melinda Bulgin of Rhode Island guilty of 15 counts of conspiracy, fraud, and money laundering. Bulgin's attorney says she will likely appeal. The case began when a North Dakota woman lost her entire life savings back in 2011. They say Bulgin funneled scam money between the U.S. and Jamaica, taking advantage of cheap flights through her job as an airline customer service representative. Authorities eventually charged 27 people.
The Highway Patrol is trying to track down the person who spilled maple syrup on Mandan area roads. The brown, sticky substance prompted road closures for about 3 hours yesterday. A hazmat team determined the substance to be mostly maple syrup, possibly used for cattle feed. State Transportation Department workers had to clean up the mess.
Very devastating. I mean, financially, I live from paycheck to paycheck. This creates, I think about winter coming. I think about how am I going to get to work? How am I going to maintain a job without transportation?
A local woman took to Facebook this week in hopes of finding the car that she and her mom share that was stolen from the garage early Wednesday morning. Sherry Springer tells us that the theft is concerning because the garage was closed, the car was locked, and the keys were upstairs inside the apartment. She also says that inside the trunk was a backpack with her ID, credit cards, insurance, and prescriptions. Springer says her insurance gave her a rental car for the next 30 days, but she's not sure what she's going to do if her own car isn't returned. She says she reported the theft to police.
Later on Valley News Live at 10, some families are regretting their decision to stay. We'll show you what the storm surges and punishing winds and rain are doing to the Carolinas.
Strong storms continue across parts of northwest Minnesota. Most of these are moving to the east and northeast. Hail, that main risk as we go through the overnight. Your forecast is next.